Whoa, boy. Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is your boy Brandon. Yo, I'm excited about this, man. Listen, we have got the three juggernauts of the Flashpoint family. Really, the off-camera flash on location ones that you should have. But yo, listen, we have the Explorer 600 Pro, right? And the back. So here we have the Explorer 600 Pro. Next, we have the Explorer 600 SE. And also, brand new, we have the Explorer 600 Pro Mark II. First of all, I want to praise the relationship, the new relationship, the new link that I have with Flashpoint and Adorama, who is, again, starting to notice me, and I just really appreciate them for everything. So, what I feel is really great about this is if there's anyone out there that's qualified enough to come to you and talk to you guys about Flashpoint and their gear and their off-camera flash and all of these things, obviously it should be me, right? Because I'm on location all the time giving you guys content. So before we get into this, there is a few housekeeping announcements that I definitely want to make to you guys. First of all, this video is sponsored by Flashpoint. Yesterday's power, tomorrow's technology, man. I really appreciate these guys. Now, Flashpoint did send me out the new Explorer 600 Pro Mark II. But again, they trust me enough to be able to be my authentic self, especially as a photographer who constantly bring you guys content and has the power to really show what these lights can do day in and day out on location. My opinion of these lights are mine and mine alone. So this is basically just to help you make a more informed decision. Now, this is probably going to be the only review that you're going to probably see all of these lights together on YouTube. Lastly, if I were you, I would stick around to the end of this video because I have a major announcement for you guys. So I highly recommend you don't skip through any of this video because it's going to come into play at the end of this video. All right. So if you miss it, you miss it. All right. So what I wanted to do with the new Explorer 600 Pro Mark II, now first of all, I get a lot of questions about these lights from the Explorer 600 Pro to the new SE to the Explorer 600 Pro Mark II. I constantly get messages daily about which light should I get. Should I get the 400, 600, 200s, 300s, all these things. And I definitely appreciate people reaching out to me because obviously they know I use off-camera flash a lot, a ton. So I love it. It's nothing better than it. But what I wanted to do with all these 600s coming out, I wanted to take a minute to really put on paper the big differences between all three of these lights so you can make a more informed decision about which lights you think you should get. Okay? So, what I'm going to do is I already did a big full review on the Explorer 600 SE, all right? But I'm going to get into like all these things right now. So what I want to do is I want to break down these lights on paper to show you what each of these lights have. So I want this to be the only video that you need to basically compare all three of these lights so you can see exactly which one has what. I'm going to go through the major things for each one that you should know. And I'm going to give my personal opinion on a few of those things, all right? Because there are some things that I like and there are some things that I don't like. So I want to basically put it all out there so you can come back to this video and see which has which, all right? Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the comparisons and the contrasts of each of these lights. All right, so first thing I want to do is we're going to go over the display, all right? Since the display is basically the same for the SE and the Pro Mark II, I'm only going to use the SC right now, all right? So the first thing we're going to do is talking about the display, heads-up display, whatever you call it. The SC and the Pro Mark II, they both have the upgraded colorful screen, as you can see right here, So as you can see, it's more bright, is more vibrant for you to understand what's on that screen. All right, these two compared to the Explorer 600 Pro, as you can see, this is the older Explorer 600 Pro's screen, the blue screen with the darker, lettering. So I really appreciate the new screens on the new Explorer 600 Pro Mark II and the SE. So this first part goes to the Explorer 600 Pro Mark II and the SE. Both of them get a check mark for this one. Okay, next I want to talk about usability. All right. So again, we're going to use, here's the Explorer 600 Pro Mark II. Again, the same as the 600 SE. All right. So for this, I'm just using the 600 Pro Mark II. Now, so you have your menu button right here. You got your mode button right here. You got your flash button right here, and you got your modeling lamp. All right. And then, of course, you have your wheel and your select in the middle. So the reason I had a problem with the way this display is set up is I don't think that they really understand when it comes to off-camera flash, fast photographers, content creators, things like that. Here's the reason why I really, really love the Explorer 600 Pro. The button layout on here is just more easier and user-friendly. When you really need to get to something really, really quick, everything is right there for you. You got mode, menu, high-speed sync, modeling lamp. You have a whole display on the front of this light. So when you need to get to something really quick, you can get to it versus the Explorer 600 SE and the Mark II. There are more steps that you have to go to do things. Let me give you an example. Here's the thing, as a content creator, as a professional photographer, as a teacher, as somebody who does events, as somebody who has photo walks, as somebody who does seminars, when I have flashes and things set up outside, and I really hope, I really want Flashpoint and anybody else out there to understand this. As somebody who teaches classes and I'm outside with 15, 20 different photographers, and I have these flashes and things set up, and I was like, hey, what channel, what group is that one on? What channel, what group is that one on? For the Explorer, if you're using the Explorer 600 Pro Mark II or the SE, that means I have to hit the menu button. All right, I gotta say, oh, hey, let me go over here and and you gotta remember, when we're doing seminars and photo walks and things, we're moving constantly. So these are just extra steps. So let's just say, for instance, I got the SE or the Explorer 600 Mark II on location, and I say, hey, I would need to go over there and change that. I need to change that group, change that channel. That means I got to go over to the light. I got to hit menu. That's a step. I got to scroll to wireless. That's a step. Scroll down, channel, change that channel. Scroll down, change the group. 3, 4. That's like 5 steps. All right, that I have to do in order to put this thing in another channel or a group. Now, you take this away and you get the Explorer 600 Pro. Hey, put that one in channel C, group 1. Channel C. I'm sorry, group C. Hey, put that in group E. Group E. Put that in channel 5. 3, 4, 5. You see the difference? It's right because it's right here on the thing. So I don't have to go into the menu system, look for it, change it down, go down, change it down, and then back out. That's extra steps that you have to take. But with the Explorer 600 Pro, everything was right here, which is similar to the first Explorer 600, how the menu system was set up out here. Now, I wish they just kind of would have did this design probably just a little bit differently. But when you are a teacher, content creator, when you're out teaching and things like that, it's so much easier to use the 600 Pro to get to those things, to move them. I would rather take this one than to take these so I can get to things a lot faster. So that was my biggest thing. So this check mark for usability is easily going to go to the Explorer 600 Pro. Okay, let's talk about another thing that you guys might have missed between all 3 of these flashes. Let's talk about the handle, all right? So now I'm gonna have to do all these individually. So let's start with the Explorer 600 Pro. All right, so the Explorer 600 Pro, when we talk about the handle, It's a short handle. It has 2/4 inch threads on it. And I think that's because they might know like these things get stripped. All right. A lot. Like I think my bottom one on my Explorer 600 Pro is already stripped. So I use the top one. Again, that may also be because depending on the light stand that you use, it may not be long enough to reach the top one. So, but the bottom one may be short enough to reach it. And I definitely know that that's the reason for it. But with the Explorer 600 Pro, it has a short handle. All right, it has a wing nut. But here's the thing: when you put like an umbrella or something inside of here, there's no way to tighten it. There's this little little thing on the inside of it that's supposed to secure it a little bit. But I found when you use bigger umbrellas and things like that have a little weight to them, man, this thing really slides down in there. And I normally have to find a way to tilt or move it or something like that to get this to stay inside here. But that was my biggest problem with this is that umbrella, trying to put an umbrella in here when I'm shooting in studio or something like that. But that's the biggest thing with this, with the Explorer 600 Pro. Now, all of these are different. So with the Explorer 600 Mark II, the handle is actually, I think, about a 1/4 inch smaller than on the actual Explorer 600 Pro. They might look the same, but this one is actually a little bit smaller. It still has 2/4 inch threads on the side of it for your wing nut. But what they did is they actually incorporated let me see if I can turn it. There you go. And they actually incorporated like a little knob right here. So when you do put an umbrella in there, you can use this little knob to tighten it down now, which is a really, really great addition. But that's the biggest difference between the Pro Mark II and the Pro. This one actually has a knob that you can actually tighten your umbrella. All right. The Explorer 600 SE has a much longer handle. I mean, it's probably two of these handles together to make like this size handle. All right. I can probably say it's about 4 inches long or so. It has 1/4 inch threading hole for your wing nut. So there's only one on here. And it also has a wing nut on this one. So if you put an umbrella in here, you can tighten it with the wing nut. All right. So the Pro Mark II has like a knob. The actual SE has a wing nut to help you tighten it. All right. So I would say for the handle, this check mark definitely goes to the Explorer 600 SE for the better handle and grip. Not to mention, you can actually handhold this. All right. So if you don't have something, if you don't have a longer handle or something, and you just want to move around and you have somebody or an assistant to hold it, you can actually hold this. All right. Unlike these, you really can't hold it. It's really uncomfortable. With the SE, you can actually hold this bad boy. So definitely check mark for this one. Definitely goes to the SE for the better ergonomics and and the handle. All right, moving on to the modeling lamp. I'm not gonna turn this on, but the Pro Mark One has a 38-watt modeling lamp in here. All right, I think the base Kelvin is like 5600, but it is a 38-watt modeling lamp. All right, the Explorer 600S, and also you can actually tell the difference between the 600 SE and the Mark II because the group indicator for the SE is on the bottom. The group indicator for the Pro Mark II is on the top. All right, you'll see that in just a second. But the modeling lamp for the Explorer 600 SE is a 40-watt modeling lamp. I do still believe it is 5600 Kelvin, but it's 40. So this one is a little bit more powerful than the Pro, but you definitely get a better modeling lamp with the SE. Now, the difference between those and the Pro Mark II, the 600 Pro Mark II. Again, like I told you before, that that group indicator is on the top versus the bottom on the SE. So the modeling lamp for the Explorer 600 Pro Mark II is 40 watts, the same as the SE. However, you have a adjustable color temperature in the 600 Mark II. All right, you can adjust the Kelvin or the color temperature from around 2800 Kelvin all the way up to 6000 Kelvin. Now, again, it depends on what your workflow is, and you might need that. You might need to match skin tones, color tones. You might need to match room temperature, whatever the case may be. You might be outside somewhere and you don't need it at 5600 Kelvin or 6000. You might need it a little bit warmer. You can do that with the Pro Mark II, all right? I'll show you how to get to that. So all you have to do is hit your modeling lamp button, which is right here. Now, you do have two ways you can do this. You can go to free and you can dial in the percentage that you want your modeling lamp to be or the intensity. So right now it's at 20%. When you hit set, you can then go to your Kelvin right here. So right now it's set on 3200 and you can adjust it right there. If you want to go to prop, if you want this to follow the flash power, this will just allow you to change the Kelvin. So you don't change the power like you do on free. So depending how light or how much power you're using, if you're using full power, if you're using 132 or 116, prop is going to follow how powerful your light is. All right. So that is that. So I normally always leave it on free because I always want to kind of control it. I love manually doing things like that. So that is how you adjust the color temperature of the Explorer 600 Pro Mark II. Now, just to show you, the Explorer 600 SE does not have that in the system. Again, it does not have the adjustable color temperature. If you go over here and you press the modeling lamp button like you just did over there, if you go down to free, as you can see, you only have the intensity that you can adjust on the SE. You do not have that with the Explorer 600 SE because they both are 40 watts. So actually what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give that check mark to both the SE and the Explorer 600 Pro Mark II because that's not really a deal breaker or something for me. If I was to get either one of these, I really don't care what, adjusting that. Again, you may be in that space where that adjustable color temperature for your modeling lamp is important to you. Again, for me, it's not important. It's not really going to be important for a lot of people. So we're going to give this check mark to both the SE and the Pro Mark II. TTL capabilities, all right? Everybody out there by this time, hopefully, everybody should know what TTL is, all right? TTL stands for through the lens, all right? So let me break it down for you, Brandon style, so all of you guys can really understand what TTL is. TTL basically is a way for your flash to give you the flash power that it thinks you need to take this picture, or what it thinks it should be when you take this picture. The way it does that is that you dial in the settings in your camera. All right. So let's say I want to be at 1.2 ISO 200, shutter speed is at 1/800th of a second. Once I put those in and I change the flash to TTL, it basically throws out a pre-flash to kind of dictate where things are, what you're focusing on, and how far the light is and everything. And then it's going to basically adjust the flash output to what it feels that flash should be in order for you to get a perfectly exposed shot. So with that being said, the Explorer 600 SE is not TTL capable, all right? The Explorer 600 Pro and the Pro Mark II they both have TTL capabilities, all right? So for this, the check mark goes to both the Pro and the Pro Mark II. Moving right along. All right, next, let's talk about battery and full power flashes and all of those things, all right? All right, so with the Explorer 600 SE, you get about 500 full power flashes, all right? It has a bigger battery, it has more milliamps in here than it does in the Explorer 600 Pro and the Pro Mark II, but it also has less voltage. I think on this one, you have about 11 volts for this battery. With the Explorer 600 Pro and the Pro Mark II, you have about a 28 volt power battery, but however, it has lower milliamps on those. With the Explorer 600 Pro, you get about 350 full power flashes on a single battery. All right, that's way better. That's way less. That's like 150 less full power flashes on the Pro than on the SE. Now, the Explorer 600 Pro Mark II is really no different. You only get about 360 full power flashes on the Explorer 600 Pro Mark II. So 350, 360, and 500. So for this, the winner of full battery and full power flashes definitely go to the Explorer 600 SE. For this next part, we're going to talk about recycle time. Now, I found this to be a little bit misleading and a little bit confusing, and I'm going to tell you why. On Adorama's website, they boast that the Explorer 600 Pro, the SE, and the Pro Mark II will get around 0.01 to 0.9 seconds on a recycle time. So that means on the lower end of your flashes, your flash will recycle 0.01 seconds. And then from there, depending on how powerful the flash is, 1/8, 1/16, 1/32, 1/4, as you increase the power on your flash duration slows down, All right. So at full power, it says that you should be around 0.9 seconds at full power. It says it for all three of these. Now, for the Explorer 600, the first one, it says that it's around 2.5 seconds for the first Explorer 600. Now, as you guys know, the Explorer 600 SE is in the same family as the Explorer 600. The Pro and the Pro Mark II are in a family because they're in the Pro family. So when I did my previous video, I explained to you and I told you that the recycle time for the Explorer 600 XC was 0.1 to 2.5. And I think the Pro and the Pro Mark II is 0.01 to 0.9. Now, how did I test this recycled cycle time? I'm going to show you how I tested it. So I have a pretty cool experiment here for you, and I want you guys to turn your volume up for this so you can actually hear. But here we have the Mark II. We have the SE. I'm going to sit up just a little bit and sit back so I can kind of stay in focus. And we have the Pro. I'm going to set all of these to full power right now. All right, let's do that. What I tried to do at first, I tried to hit the flash buttons together like this to kind of see which one would recycle faster. But, you know, it's really hard to do that with all three. So what was my suggestion? I said, well, why not I just take a flash trigger, put them all on channel A, and hit the flash button, R2 nano. So what we're going to do is we're going to put all of these on channel A. They're all at full power. Now again, on Adorama's I'm moving this over. Now again, on Adorama's website, it says that all of these are 0.01 to 0.9. So what I want you, they all have the beep on so you can hear. So at full power, all of these should basically beep at the same time, right? So I want to show you something. All right, so all of these are on channel 1, group A. All right, so I'm gonna put these up and I'm gonna move to the back so you can see these, and I want you guys to hear the recycle time for each of these. Again, we'll do it like this: SE, Mark II, Mark 1. All right, listen, here we go. Ready? Do it again. Listen. Now, what I take from that, all right, I don't think it gets any more accurate than that because everything is being powered and flashed at the same time. So what I take from that is, first of all, the Explorer 600 Pro is recycling faster than both of these. All right. So here's the Pro down here, but these two are pretty close together. But the SE is still like almost a second slower. So this is not 0.9. There is no way that that is 0.9 seconds because again, it says that all of these are 0.01 to 0.9. This has to be more around 2.5 like its previous version, the Explorer 600. So let's do two of these. Let's do two of these together. So the Pro and the Pro Mark II is supposed to be 0.1 to 0.9. So let's do these two without the SE. All right. So I'm just going to turn off the SE and we're going to do the Mark 1 and the Mark II. Ready? All right, so as you can see, the 600 Pro is faster than the 600 Pro Mark II. The 600 Pro still recycles faster than the Pro Mark II. Now, I still think it's in that range between 0.01 and 0.9. I can't really get a clock and press it and find out exactly what that is, but I like to see it and hear it. So I definitely do think that this is probably like 0.85 or 82, and this is more near 0.9. Since the Pro Mark II is newer, we'll use the Pro Mark II for this one. So now we are going to use the Pro Mark II. They're virtually right there close to each other, but we already know the 600 Pro is faster than the Pro Mark II when it comes to recycle time. So now we're going to do the 600 Mark II versus the SE. So now you can see both of the group indicators. We're going to use this one. So this I really feel is more around 2.5, but I want you to hear how long it is behind this one. All right. It's definitely not 0.9 seconds. Let's listen to it. Ready, ready. All right. So as you can see, that Explorer 600 SE is definitely more near around 2.5 seconds. That is not 0.9 seconds. There's no way. All right. So I didn't notice. I couldn't really, and you couldn't really notice unless somebody was doing all of these comparisons for you at one time. So the check mark for recycle time definitely goes to the Explorer 600 Pro. And if that little half a second is not really important to you, then I would definitely give a check mark to the Pro and the Pro Mark II. The SE boasting a 0.9 gets a big fat X for that. All right. Okay, next, let's talk flash duration. All right. So if you guys don't know what flash duration is basically how long or how fast the flash fires. Okay, that's the easiest way to put it. A faster flash duration will allow you or help you to freeze action faster than it would something else. All right. So here is the differences between the SE, the Pro, and the Pro Mark II. Now, there's a little bit of a caveat with this one. Let's start with the Pro, because I always go with the Pro first. Let's try to go with the Pro first since it's the older one. So with the Explorer 600 Pro Mark 1, all right, so the flash duration on here is 1 over 10,100 at 256. Now remember, you get your fastest flash duration at the lowest power. If you was to go up to say, what do we normally shoot at? Let's just say 1/16th power. We'll put it right in the middle. So at 1/16th, you're at 1 over 3,640. Still a really, really good way to freeze action. And then at full power on the Explorer 600 Pro, that gives you 1 over 220. Okay, 1 over 220. So that's a pretty long flash duration. All right, not really something to help you freeze action, but again, 1 over 220 is pretty accurate. All right, so that's with the Explorer 600 Pro. Now with the Explorer 600 SE, going all the way down to 512. You can get a flash duration on the Explorer 600 SE, actually, and the Pro Mark II. I don't have to bring the Pro Mark II over here, but on the Pro Mark II and the SE at its lowest power at 512, you can get 11,760 on the flash duration. That's a pretty fast flash duration. A lot of us are not shooting at 512 though. So if you go up to 256, just like the Explorer 600 Pro, you get 1 over 9,800. All right. So actually, you get a faster flash duration on the Pro at 1 at 256 than you do on the SE or the Pro Mark II. Now, if we was to put this at 1/16th, just like the Pro, you're at 1 over 3,550. on the flash duration. If you was to go up to full power, you would be again at 1 over 220. All right. Now, Explorer 600 Pro Mark II actually adds a little bit more of a oomph and a trick to this. All right. The Explorer 600 Pro Mark II actually has something called freeze mode. You get all the same things as the Explorer 600 SE. However, if you go into the menu system and you go down to flash mode, you can change this to something called freeze mode. All right. When you hit freeze mode, at the lowest power, you can get up to 20,400 for a flash duration. That is very fast, and that is something that's really good to freeze motion. So when you're doing something, maybe with a darkness, maybe you're dropping ice in a cup or something like that, and you need to get the fastest flash duration possible, putting this at 512 and maybe using some reflectors to bounce light and everything to really power that light, you can get 20,400 on a flash duration with the Explorer 600 Pro Mark II. So if that's your space and that's something that you need, the Explorer 600 Pro Mark II is definitely the way to go for you. Now, normally, just like the other ones, 760, just like the SE, at 256, which is normally what we all have. We're at 1 over 9,800 at 1/16th. We are at 3,550, and at 1 over, and when we're at full power, we are at 1 over 220. Here is the catch with that. Let's say you want to get a faster flash duration at full power in freeze mode. You can put this back in freeze mode if you're really trying to freeze something with a little bit more stoppage, really, using freeze. As you can see now, at full power, we're at 2,570 versus 220 that we're at when we're at full power without being in freeze mode. The trade-off for this is that you're not really getting 1 over 1 power. You're not really getting full power like that. It basically, when you go into freeze mode, since the flash is shortened and it's faster, you're not getting what you would get at when it's not at full power, or 1 over 1. You're not really getting a 1 over 1, and I don't have the thing to test it how much more intense it is without freeze mode. But when you're in freeze mode, you basically cut down on the power of full power or whatever setting that you're in. So even if you're in 1/16th, even if you're in 132, you're going to get a flasher duration, but it's going to be a little bit less power than it would be if you wasn't in freeze mode. So if I had to get a check mark to this, I would definitely give a check mark to, again, the SE and the Pro Mark II if we are talking about flash duration. Let's talk about RGB color identification or group light indicator. That is no secret. The Explorer 600 Pro Mark II and the SE both have the new group light indicators, all right, which is really important. So having two of these and having both of these with the capability of having the group light indicators when you're in a studio or you're somewhere and you can't really tell which one is in what group, it's so easy just to look over and see that's red, that's A, they're both red, I know they're in the same group, instead of going all the way up to the light and trying to see if it's in group A, B, C, D, E, G, whatever the case may be. I can literally look and say red, red, blue, blue, if I want them actually in the same group. If I know that they're in different, if I know that these are different colors, I know that they're in different groups. That is an amazing feature to have. I really like it. And you really don't know the power of it or how important it is unless you shoot with 1 light, 2 light, 3 light setup. So definitely, if they come out with an Explorer 400 Pro Mark II or Explorer 300, definitely adding that group light indicator to those so you can have more flashes that are going to be able to put these in different groups is going to be definitely a game changer for a lot of studio photographers and also people like me who do a lot of photo walks and seminars and things like that, and I'm going around and trying to put all these in groups, and I'm trying to make sure people are on the right groups. I can say, hey, you're supposed to be an A right there, that's blue, that's B, that's green, that's C, so I can, that's it's a game changer for people like myself, all right? And I know it's going to be a game changer for studio photographers. So this check mark, I would definitely have to give this to the SC and the Pro Mark II for adding the brand new group light indicators, all right? Moving right along. Okay, and that brings us to our last category, pricing. The price for the XPLOR 600 SE is $599. The price for the XPLOR 600 Pro at the time of this video is still $799. The price for the XPLOR 600 Mark II is $899. So you got $599, then you got a $200 difference almost. So $599, $799, $899. So if I had to give a check mark to somebody in this category, of course, it's definitely going to be the XPLOR 600 SE coming in at $600 because you get a lot for the XPLOR 600 SE versus the other one. It has a lot of the new features, a lot of the new capabilities, and I absolutely just love it. So that is going to wrap it up for my review of all three of these lights. And I hope a lot of these things that we talked about in this video really gives you a better understanding about the SE, the Pro, and the Pro Mark II. All of these things have things that I like. All of these lights have things that I don't like. I just wish when designing things like this that they would get more experience and they would get more feedback from photographers like myself who are actually out there daily, who's actually out there teaching, who's actually out there putting on seminars, who's actually using these things day in and day out, because then they could understand why having stuff like that is so important to professional photographers and not just people just shooting in the studio. People that's out there in the streets and things like we are grinding and teaching and stuff daily. And, you know, hopefully you'll make the best decision for you. All the links to all the lights will be down in the description below. Unfortunately, I do not have any kind of discount codes or anything yet, but they are available. And I just hope that you guys get them. Right, I'll say regardless of the fact, they are all absolutely amazing lights. 600 watts of power. I believe that everybody out there should have a 600 watt monolight. I highly recommend you guys go pick that up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a comment, man. Please like the video so we can deal with this daggone algorithm. And make sure you subscribe to your boy's channel because I do everything that I can to help you guys out there. Stay tuned for the last part of this video, and it's going to be a bomb burner. All right? See you guys in the next video. Hey, what's up everybody out there? Yo, listen, I am glad you guys are here because I have a big announcement, man. You know, to commemorate the partnership with myself and Adorama and Flashpoint, man, we've been doing some great stuff together. And again, I am truly thankful for the partnership that I have with them. So to commemorate that partnership, guess what we're doing? We are giving away a brand new XPLOR 600 SE. Yo, you heard it right, man. I'm excited for it because I think it's amazing. I truly is a blessing, man. And for them to allow me to give away a brand new XPLOR 600 SE tells you around the trust and the partnership that I have with Flashpoint and what they see in me. And this is not a cheap light. You know, they normally just don't give away lights like that, but this is absolutely amazing. So let me tell you what you have to do to enter this giveaway. All right, you cannot do it here on YouTube. Go over to my Instagram. All right, now here is how you enter to win this XPLOR 600 SE. You gotta be following me on Instagram and on YouTube. You got to be following Adorama on Instagram. All right, also for extra credit, you can also follow Flashpoint Lighting. All right, Flashpoint has their own channel, their own thing. So if you want to do that, follow Flashpoint Lighting as well. All right, so follow me on Instagram and YouTube, follow Adorama. Make sure you tag 3 people on this Instagram post. Tag 3 people on this Instagram post in order to a chance to win the Explorer 600 SE. If you want to put this also in your stories for a little bit more attention, yo, post and tag this also in your stories for other people to see. You can only enter once. All right, again, I'm gonna say it again, you can only enter once. Now also, you have to be in the United States. All right, unfortunately, sorry for all my people overseas, I still love you, you know I rock with you, but you have to be in the United States. All right, once I choose the winner, the information will go to Adorama and they will send you out a brand new Explorer 600 SE. All right, yo, good luck to everybody. Thank you for rocking with me, man. Let's get this channel up, man. Let's get the IG up, man. You know, I feel like I be doing a lot for you guys. It's time for that. But I love doing stuff for you guys. You don't know how much I've been working behind the scenes to bring you this, and now we have a great partnership, and this is just going to get better and better. So good luck to all you guys, man. Make sure you enter for a chance to win your new Explorer 600 SC. Until next time, I'll see you guys in another video, man, and I'll holler at you guys. Let's get it. It's your boy. We out. Peace.